And here is the Writer's Almanac for Friday, August the 28th, 2020. It's the anniversary of the March on Washington in 1963. More than 200,000 people gathered. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. spoke at the Lincoln Memorial. There was no violence, not one single arrest. It was on this date, 1845, the first issue of Scientific American was published. Scientific American, the oldest continuously published magazine in the United States, founded by Rufus Porter, who came from a wealthy New England family. He was a painter and inventor. The first issue focused on improvements to the quality of passenger railway cars. It's the birthday of the father of German literature, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, born in Frankfurt, 1749, who gave us the epic drama Faust. He moved to Italy when he was a young man, returned to Germany, fell in love with a woman who was 16 years younger, Christiane Vulpius. She was 23. And they moved in together, lived for 18 years together, unmarried, and with children. When Napoleon, having invaded Germany, his soldiers, who were drunk, broke into their home in Weimar one evening. Goethe was terrified, but Christiane was yelling at the soldiers and fending them off hand to hand, trying to protect the man of the house. After a long skirmish, she pushed them out of the house, barricaded the kitchen so the soldiers couldn't steal any more of their food. Grateful to this brave, steadfast woman, Goethe went down to a church the very next day, and he married her. It's the birthday of the illustrator Tasha Tudor, born in Boston, 1915, illustrated almost 100 children's books, including classics like Mother Goose, Little Women, and The Secret Garden. It's the birthday of the poet Rita Dove, born Akron, Ohio, 1952. Her father was a chemist, a research chemist at Goodyear. Her mother loved to read and encouraged her children to read widely. Rita Dove remembers reading the Iliad when she was 10 years old. A high school teacher took her to hear the poet John Ciardi, and Rita Dove was entranced by it. She said, "I didn't know writers could be real, live people because I never knew any writers. Here was a living, breathing, walking, joking person who wrote books." And then she read Sylvia Plath's poem, Daddy, and Dove said, "It was the first time I realized you didn't have to be polite." Here's a poem for today by Rita Dove entitled Parlor. We passed through on the way to anywhere else. No one lived there but silence, a pale china gleam, and the tired eyes of saints, aglow on velvet. Mom says things are made to be used, but Grandma insisted peace was in what wasn't there, strength in what was unsaid. It would be nice to have a room you couldn't enter, except in your mind. I like to sit on my bed, plugged into my transistor radio, Moon River pouring through my head. How do you use life? How do you feel it? Mom says. Things harden with age. She says Grandma is happier now. After the funeral, I slipped off while they stood around remembering, away from all the talking and eating and weeping, to sneak a peek. She wasn't there. Then I understood why. She had kept them just so quiet and distant, the things that she loved. Parlor, a poem by Rita Dove from her collection On the Bus with Rosa Parks, published by W.W. Norton and Company and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac, funded by donations from listeners like you, now available on PRX for distribution by your local radio station. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.